Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So it's been a long time since I posted a video. I'm very sorry, but I don't want to force myself into posting videos and making videos because it's still a thing I want to do because I like doing it and not something I have to do. So that's my excuse. I know it's kind of an excuse, but I think it's a valid excuse. So yeah, so in this video we're going to go through some one-star reviews of my favorite books. I have 5 books in mind that I'm going to read some 5-star reviews of, one-star reviews of, and I'm going to react to them. I don't know if I'm ready for it. I don't think I am, but I saw a lot of people doing it, and I always love watching those videos because it's kind of funny to read one-star reviews of a book that you really love, and that also explains how subjective reading is. I mean, you can like a book, but I can maybe hate the book. So yeah. First of all, I want to say that all of these opinions are mine, and if you're not agreeing with them, that's fine. If I'm not agreeing with your opinion, that's also fine. Also, towards the reviews I'm reading, I will cut out the person who wrote the review on Goodreads, but there's no hate or no thing against them, against the person who wrote this review. It's just my personal opinion, and just wanted to point that out before going into the video. So yeah, I would say let's get started. So I have my computer here. So if you're wondering what I'm looking at my computer because I do have to read the one-star reviews. So I've got 5 books I want to read some 5-star reviews of, and I have the books next to me because I was taking the thumbnail. But I'm just going to start with the book that's on top, and that is The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. So I really love that book. I read it last summer, and that book, Catherine Center just does it every time. She can take you. She can act like there's nothing going to happen, and then all of a sudden it's like bam, all of the tears are there. So yeah. So the average rating of this is 3.95 stars, which is not really high though. Now clicking the one-star reviews. I will put a picture. I'm going to set a little bit aside. Okay. I'm not usually a hater, but today I am. Okay, that's fine by me. If you want to be, but okay, this is a little bit longer overview. I'm going to look for a little bit longer overview. Not that long. One-star review. The premise sounds promising, but the payoff was just not there. The main character was incredibly unlikable and immature. The pacing was strange and the drama was ridiculous. I get it's fiction, but no! Exclamation mark. I wish I had more to say to round out my review, but I really disliked it. There is definitely an audience for this book. I'm just not it. Okay, I really love like the main character, Hannah. She's just I kind of recognize myself in her, so that's maybe why I really like her. And I mean, the pacing in books, it just always gets, it's always is a little bit faster than it will be in real life. So I don't really think of that when reading books, but yeah, I could get why people don't like that maybe, but I personally don't mind it. But yeah, that's just me, and that's okay. I haven't read a romance with less chemistry. Did we read the same book? Because I felt the chemistry, but maybe that was just me. But I did see the chemistry. But hey, that's okay. That's okay. That's completely fine. But I personally read a book where the characters had a lot of chemistry. But yeah, that's fine. So okay, not everyone likes it, but there are a lot of people who don't like it, who think it's cringe, who don't like the female character. That kind of hurts me, but that's fine. That's completely fine. Okay, so we're going to go to the next book. I mean, I could read all the reviews, the one-star reviews, but I don't think that will be interesting. So we're going to go over like 5 or 4 of them of each book. So this video is also like isn't like an hour long. Now we're going to a book that I deeply, deeply love. I mean, it's one of my favorite books of all time. I've read this book 3 times already. I just read it the third time, and I can say nothing wrong about it. I can no, just this book is it. This is it. I wish I could read this book for the first time again because that would be so incredible. But wow, wow. And that book is none other than The Love Hypothesis by Ellie Hazelwood. I mean, this book is so lovable, so likable. Adam and Olive, I just love them as characters, and I love Ellie Hazelwood writing it. This is one of her first novels as well, but she did so good, and also with the STEM aspect in it, I really loved it. So yeah, so the average rating of this book is 4.12, so that's okay. So take a look at the 1-star reviews. So whoa, this is a long one. Okay, we're not going to go over the really long ones. Okay, so a 1-star review, obviously. I read fanfic, and while it's nice that it can now openly be turned into a novel, there are so many things wrong with this mess that, in my opinion, it makes fanfic look bad. To start with, 1. This novel features a story that isn't one because the entire problem could have been solved if Adam and Mary Sue, Olive, had just had a conversation. I don't know what she's talking about, but that's maybe just me because I don't know what fanfic it's about. 2. Olive is supposed to be adorable, I assume, but mostly comes across as a hot mess of a doormat who needs Adam to fix herself and her life. And that message? No, just no. Okay, to be honest, I think Olive is really relatable at that part because you may think that everyone has his life together, and the thing that, if you don't know what this book is about, Olive starts to fake date with Adam because her best friend wants to date her ex-boyfriend, but her best friend is a little bit hesitant in doing it, but because she thinks Olive has feelings for him. So all of the things she does it with a good thing in mind because she wants the people she loves to be comfortable doing things. So I don't know, the hot mess, maybe she is, but I think don't we all are kind of hot messes at some times? Okay. 3. Adam, really, I suppose there is something to be said for acknowledging that this is a fanfic about Adam Driver, but it's, well, more than a little weird to be paying to read such a thinly designed favorite sex dream. Having said that, the author definitely knows how to write sex scenes. I can see paying for this as I don't know what that means, has thousands of free novels just like this, but they each felt their own. Okay, so I don't know who Adam Driver is, to be honest. I'm going to look him up real quick. Oh, okay. I don't know what was a fanfic about him, but that maybe just be me. But I really love the book, and I really love Adam and Olive. So yeah, that's just me. On to the next review. Okay. Okay. There are a lot of long reviews at this for this book. Okay. The love hypothesis, more like the hate hypothesis. Hate this book with everything I have. BookTok will pay for its crimes against false promotion. That's sad, but okay. Okay, I'm not going to take it personally. I'm trying to not take this personally. It's really hard because I think a lot of things personally. So doing this, I'm really challenging myself. Okay. Reading 3 books about fake dating in 15 days was definitely not a good idea. Maybe not. Not that it was the only reason that this book got 1 star, but it was a big one. The whole thing that started as fake dating here was unbelievable. I found the characters to be shallow, and I've read better books with this trope. To be honest, I don't think, maybe the fact that you read like 2 other books in the before, maybe that does take a lot of your opinion. I always say, and I see a lot of people say it on here as well, that sometimes you read a book at a certain time maybe if you read it at another time, you would read it very differently. So maybe if you read it like another time, you would have loved it more. But I don't know. And I really loved the fake dating in this and all about it. And I personally, this is one of my favorite fake dating books ever that I've read so far. And I mean, obviously, it's really emotional. It's still a book, it's still a fiction book. So, yeah, I really don't like to think about it that it should be. Some things are like, that's maybe. I think things should be believable. It's more like literary fiction, but it's really pure fiction and romance to enjoy myself. So yeah, but that's just my opinion, and this is her opinion, and that's completely fine. You know what? We're going to the next book. I don't know how many reviews I read so far, but we're going to the next. And that book is a book I also really love. I overall love the author very much. Her writing style is very easy and very magical, not magical, but so good and well thought of. And yeah, I recently reread it and I love doing that. And then it's Happy Place by Emily Henry. This book is so, reading it, I first read it 2 years ago and then I read it at the end of 2024. And 1 year difference made already such a difference on my view of this book. So I think this is a book I will be rereading more in the future. So yeah. The average rating is 3.997. Wow. I really had to think here. Know that English isn't my first language, okay? So if I make mistakes, that's the reason why. So we're going to the bottom to look for the 1-star reviews. Okay. There are spoilers. I'm going to try to not read things with spoilers, because that wouldn't be really interesting. 1-star. This is a DNF at 48%. I physically can't take this book anymore. It's so bad I want to delete it out of my brain chemistry. I've wasted my life, breath, and time trying to get to the middle of this, so I'm deciding to DNF it for real this time. Damn. Okay, that's intense. I mean, I could get why people maybe don't like it, but yeah, to DNF it, that's intense. That's rough. Okay, I was so irritated with this book. I basically hate Reddit. So much eye rolling, so much miscommunication. These characters are so idiotic with their decisions and ideas of love romance. The friend group is also stupid, and the way everyone treats each other is terrible. Ugh, definitely the worst rom-com I've read and the worst Emily Henry book so far. So this is where my things come in. So Emily Henry is categorized as romance, who writes romance book, but I personally think that Emily Henry, her books are so much more than a romance concept, especially in Happy Place. There's so much aspects of the friendship, the friend group, and the friendship in your 20s and when you're growing up. And that's the thing I really loved about the book, because you see a lot more than just a romance between two characters. There's also some conflicts happening and miscommunication, because miscommunication is sometimes something that's really close to real life. I mean, I think we've all experienced sometimes a miscommunication situation before. So I really don't mind, but yeah. Yeah, okay. The miscommunication is valid. There were some things that could have been solved if there just been people talked. But yeah. Okay. I think personally it's insane that people who don't like the book write so long reviews. Just I couldn't personally do it. Here. This review is very simple. 1-star review, and it says, not my happy place. Okay, fine. But it is mine, and I love it. This is someone who DNF'd at 80%. That's insane. Okay. It took me 4 days to read this, and respectfully, they were the most painful 4 days of my life. Still insane that you read a book in 4 days, but didn't like it. That's crazy, but it's possible. I also think I've read books in a very short time period, but didn't like it, but that's valid. We're going to go with one last review. I'm going to go with a little bit. This was a whole book based on miscommunication and a lack of understanding that it's okay for friendships and relationships to end. The fact that no one felt like they could talk to each other about anything was insane. So, if you put it like that, I kind of understand because it was kind of toxic that they just couldn't talk to each other about things. But I also get that it could be more maybe hard to talk about things because when you talk about them, things get real. And I completely understand that. It's sometimes if you talk about it and it gets real, it really is real and it's really happening. So I think that's also really something that happens in real life a lot because you don't want to talk about things because when you talk about it, it's real. I know I said it like 3 times, but that's okay. Okay, we're going to the next book. And the next book is a book that I just know is not loved by a lot of people. So I'm kind of scared to read these 1-star reviews. But hey, we're going to give it a try. And I'm going to hurt myself reading these 1-star reviews, I think. But the book is Caravel by Stephanie Garber. So yeah, I really love this book. I ate all of these 3 books up. I read them so fast. It's insane. But yeah. So the average rating is 3.97 out of 5 stars. So this book takes place before, I think, the Once a Broken Heart trilogy, and a lot of people really prefer the Once a Broken Heart over Caravel. But I haven't read the other one, but yeah, I really liked the Caravel trilogy, but maybe that's just me. Let's take a look. Wow, this person is happy. My first 1-star rating of the year. Even though I finished this book within a day, I feel so mad about it. I don't even know how to review it. While I was reading, I tried to think of one aspect of this book that it made appealing for me, and now that I've finished, I can't think of a single one, other than a cover. Now I just feel numb, devoid of any feelings and emotion that to the point that it's causing me discomfort. Oh damn, that's crazy. That's because this book made me feel a lot of things, but not that. But okay, fine. I hope you're doing okay now. It was in 2017, so it's been a while. So I've seen a lot of 1-star reviews, but a lot of really long. I mean, if you could see it, it's like a whole page. I'm not reading that to you guys. That's a little bit too much. I honestly can think of one single thing that I liked about this book. That's sad. I was bored and uninvested. If someone took a shot every time Julian took his shirt off or his hard chest and golden abs were mentioned, they would die of alcohol poisoning because the amount of times it mentioned was incredibly absurd. I don't remember it mentioning that many times, but it just could be me. But yeah, maybe that's a little bit annoying. I get that. It's a valid point, you know? I have to say when people say things and they are valid points because this is one of them. So yeah. I genuinely hated every single character. What's the point of this book? What is this ending? What is this writing? What is going on? I was so bored I got a headache. I mean, I do get that you say what's going on because it can be confusing at sometimes. I was confused at sometimes as well. I didn't like one character, but I mean, she was okay, but it's not like I really loved her, you know? I had my favorite. The point, I mean, is there a point to any book? Some books are just to escape from reality, and I think this book is perfect for that, but yeah. The ending, really crazy, but there are 2 other books, so maybe if you read those 2 other books, the ending makes a little bit more sense, but yeah. So I just saw my camera just stopped working at this all of a sudden, so we're going to go again. So the next book and the last book we're going to talk about is Heartless Hunter by Kristen Ciarelli. This is a really popular book from last year, and I saw a lot of people liking it, so I'm very interested to see what people don't like about it, because I've seen more people like this than not like it. So yeah, let's take a look at some 1-star reviews. First one. Yep, this one is going to be a DNF. I am very sad about it too, but I tried one last time today get into it and I can't get past a collection of period blood for spells and a plot that has been done 100 times. I do not understand the hype. So the thing is, if you didn't read the book, this may sound a little bit weird, but the witches in this book have to use their period blood to do spells. I personally think it's really interesting and a really creative way to incorporate the period of women in it, but I get it, maybe it's not for everyone. A lot of people seeing the one-star reviews are people who DNF'd it, but I really want people who read the whole book, you know? Because it's not the same. Top 10 worst books I've ever read. This was like if a book was playing a romantic fantasy in a musical. It was a tier of itself. I think the author thought all of her readers were fired because there was no nuance or depth in this book. The author didn't trust her readers or her characters enough. What do you mean? Obviously, she's not the Crimson One. She doesn't seem intelligent enough for that. Are you dumb? I wanted to DNF this book so bad, but I pushed through so I could give it a 1 star. Damn. That you want to, yeah, what is intense. Hot, lukewarm take. Enemies to lovers only truly works when there are multiple books. Another hot take is that romantic fantasy books are best on Kindle. I don't know, but a waste of my February book of the month. It was so bad it was physically painful to read. Damn, that's an intense one. Well, I personally really like the fact that they're like so clueless that they're like, no, she's not the Crimson Month. Obviously, she's not it. I think that's really funny because, like, obviously she is, but you're not seeing it. All I know going into this book was that this had witch/witch hunter trope. Anyway, this is generic and predictable. I don't have a problem with that if at least it's entertaining or has good characters. But this doesn't have any of that. Why a fantasy genre got so unimaginative, I don't understand how this is popular. Sometimes I just don't know what to say about these reviews because I don't really think was okay. Maybe it was a little predictable, but still liked it. And also the witch and the witch hunter trope, I think it's done really well and good. And also with the YA fantasy, I was never really an OG reader when The Hunger Games and Divergent and The Maze Runner came out, so I can't compare it to that. But the fantasy books I've read, I think I've read maybe better fantasy books than this one, so I think it's fun and I think it's still a little bit realistic with like the world. But yeah, this is a little bit of a long review. I think this book will become a new favorite of many readers of romantic fantasy, but it sure wasn't for me. It was for me. This book feels like a mix between Powerless and Serpent and Dove, but with more of a Bridgerton vibe. I read Powerless, but I didn't read Serpent and Dove, and I watched Bridgerton, but I'm not seeing it to be honest, but that's maybe me. Tropey and predictable, but still enjoyable to the right audience. I won't spoil anything here, but the entire plot bothered me, and the relationship between the main characters was just toxic. The romance is one of the worst I think I've ever read, maybe because the characters are horrible. Okay, I really love the characters, but maybe that's for just me. It was honestly a struggle to get through this book. I should have DNF'd it when I started getting bad vibes around 50 pages in and saved myself from this abysmal reading experience. Crazy. But I do still like the fact that this person says, like, it wasn't for me, but I can get why people would like it. So I think that's good. And I do like it, but so you see, everyone has a different opinion on books, and it's fine. You maybe like a book, but I don't, and it's completely fine. I'm sad you maybe don't like this book, but that's okay. We're going to read one more review. What did I just read? The plot had merit, but there was absolutely no chemistry or attention building into the characters and their relationship. I just can't get into the writing, the plot, or really any part of it. And I'm sorry, but I don't understand why everyone is raving about this book being the best thing since sliced bread. I don't know what that is, but I'll read the second one since it's just a duology, but oof, this was almost my first DNF. Crazy. Especially that you still want to read second book, because if I don't like first book, I'm not going to read another book. But go you for trying it. But yeah, I see a lot of people don't liking the characters. That's what my conclusion is from this 1-star reviews. But yeah, I do like the characters, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to close end the video here because I think I've done a lot of harm to myself with reading these 1-star reviews. But yeah, I am glad that I I did love all of these books. I'm sad that not everyone loves this book, but these books, but you know, that's okay. That's what reading is about. Not everyone can have the same opinion, and that's completely fine. So yeah, that was for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you're back now. We'll see. I'm not going to promise anything, but I'm going to try my best to post more videos from now on. But if you want to follow me on Instagram or Goodreads, you can to maybe be a little more updated on the books I'm reading or I'm trying to read. And hopefully soon there will be a reading slump video online of me trying to get out of the slump. Hopefully I will be soon out of the slump, but I don't know. I don't know yet. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!